It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. YK in the building.
Yo.
Are you full of smiles this morning?
Something fell.
Just last minute.
Are you serious?
Last second.
How you doing, YK?
I'm fine. And you?
Not bad. You know, I like this African-themed Christmas because you can get to snack on something and, you can just get to, be real merry.
Today.
She's going to send me away. That I was munching.
I was begging Miriam to come and sit here because last week I was eating throughout.
I was munching away.
Yeah.
Crunching on the
after this season, we can't do that again. So let us enjoy it now. How you doing, YK?
I'm okay. I had one banter and I've totally forgotten it. I feel very annoyed that I've forgotten it actually.
Meanwhile, you look fabulous.
Oh,
I love the color green.
Green.
I really love the color green. But
Green is not a nice
shade.
color, but the way she combined it, green I think is very
one
dull.
of my favorite
Really?
colors. Yes.
Wow, it was my mom's
yeah, we
favorite.
kind of know why.
My mom and my grandmom.
Oh. So they passed it on to you, or you?
No, it's not my favorite color. No, it's not.
YK, how many hats do you have?
I have plenty. I love hats, so when I see them, I buy them. People know I love hats; they give me.
Yes,
so I get them as gifts. So I have a lot. In fact, my girl seems to be very tired of me with the hats.
Yeah, let me come to Tokwe. How you doing, Tokwe?
I'm good. Over the weekend, or more like yesterday, something happened that really, there was a lot of fear in my heart. Like I was just so worried about an information I got, and it was just, my heart was just, like I could feel pain. Like my heart was constricted, and I knew, I'm a Christian. I should have more faith. I should believe. My sister, I had to go and find one of Bishop David Oyedepo's message. By the time I listened to it 2 times yesterday, this morning, I'm very, very, I feel like I've fed my faith. My faith is very strong now. Like, bring it on. I can face anything. But it just, reason for sharing the story is because even, no matter how self-aware you are, you need to, whatever you feed is what will thrive. And life is feeding you different challenges. So if life is feeding you challenges like per second, you need to ensure that you're feeding your faith also like that. You know? So I feel very grateful to God for YouTube and messages.
How are you doing, Mariam?
I'm doing fine. I'm good. Just looking forward to the rest of the week. Really, our kids are writing. My son is writing another exam again this weekend. So constantly studying. Yeah. So luckily, so far, to go to secondary school. Luckily, so far we have passed a couple of the ones we've written. So yeah.
Nice.
He's not going to September, Abi?
Till next year.
Yeah, but
next year, September.
Yes, but the exams have started already. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. This
He's a big boy.
Yeah, it's a new season for you as a parent, because I've not even started that whole drama, but it's interesting to know that at some phase, you have to have that conversation with children, planning towards
and it's a phase, and I feel that parents should start early, start preparing them by primary 4, just the understanding of, you need to take time out to study. You're studying because you need to take them. They need to understand that it's on them to do well. It's for
How old
them.
is he?
He's 10. So he'll be 11 in time for
in September, because my brother's daughter was 10 on Sunday, and he's saying she has to do 1 more year.
No.
Yes, because most schools will not take you if you don't turn 11 by September. They will not take you. You have to wait till next year. Yes, my son just turns 10. In time.
Right. All right, let's go on the break. Let's go. When we come back, we go through the fun pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Let's start with the Punch. 3,125 killed, 2,703 abducted in 11 months. VIPs knock federal government. And NPC to halt rising cooking gas price and increase supply. After 11 billion rounds, MTN Mafab acquired the 5G spectrum for $547 million. Senators reps get 52 million. 32 million naira yearly office running allowances, Lawan. Osun farmer released in Ekiti forest. Abductors collect cash, cigarettes, and drinks. Students set ablaze by attackers being forced to join calls, say in Uni Osun. NYSC makes vaccination compulsory for prospective couples in 2022. And police grilled journalists for 7 hours after anti-corruption story. Okay, which story are we taking?
I was going to take the ASU, because they have said the government hasn't listened to them, and they haven't done with the 2009 agreement. They haven't implemented it. So this time, when they go on strike, it's going to be an indefinite strike. And I'm just begging them, because one of my brother's adopted sons, he has been in university for over 6 years for a 4-year course. I think even 7 years. He went to this university same time as Madi, and Madi graduated 3 years ago. He just finished his final exam last month. It's not fair. So the government and us, I beg, think of these children.
Imagine. So one child, two children enter school together, one finished on time, the other is still in school, just because of the Nigerian system.
Just because of all these strikes. He just finished.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the NNPC story. We'll be following the price of the cooking gas going up. Now, the group managing director of NNPC, Mele Kyari, was speaking at the inauguration of 120 metric tons LPG storage and bottling plant in Abuja, and mentioned the fact that the country plans to increase supply, and by increasing supply, the price of cooking gas will drop. But he also mentioned that it's not about Nigeria alone, that generally worldwide, this year, the price of cooking gas has jumped by over 240% between January and October 2021. And this is what has forced LPG users to shift to charcoal or firewood. Some of us are still using it regardless. So he's saying the international market is causing the price to go up, but there would be changes based on the fact that Nigeria is going to increase capacity supply to the market within the country. We're hoping to see that relief.
Yes. I have this story. A young man, his name is Victor. Victor Ademola Adis. Yes. Sorry, he's... Anyway, Victor Okay. I'm mixing up the names with the police officer. So this young man, Victor Okay, he's a student, a part-time student of political science at the Osun State University in Osogbo, and it's reported that he was attacked by some of his schoolmates who are cult members, and they wanted him to join the cult. He refused to join the cult. The eyewitnesses say they heard him screaming as these cultists were using machete on him, sticks, and in fact also tried to burn him alive. But luckily he was rescued. He was partially burnt, but he was rescued. The police said that they're looking into it, and they've started investigation. And this just reminds me of the other story that we're still talking about, you know, of the little boy in secondary school. So there's no hiding place. You leave secondary school, going to university. We've always heard of university, but to know that it's trickling down to our secondary school, but that these cultists can still openly carry out their activities. We need to do better in the sense that we need to report these people when we see them. We have the fellow students, you know who they are, you know what they do. And then the security operatives need to do the job of arresting these people and prosecuting them. So
when I hear security operators, I always think of, okay, 400,000 people to 200 million. I always think to myself, like, okay, how effective can they be? So anyway.
Well, universities have security outfits.
Yeah, but they might not be empowered to have equipment to be able to defeat this guy. These cultists are going with knives, machetes. Anyways, Fisayo Shoyambo, if you recall, is a journalist that had exposed the dilapidated police. The sham of the police system force at the time, and he was recently invited to Abuja for questioning concerning the story exposing the award of transit police camp projects that did not exist. Initially, he said he just got an invitation. He had tweeted about the message, said that he got an invitation by the Inspector General of Police to Abuja, but was when he got there, he now realized what it was for. It was regarding the expose on the police camp project. But at least he's been released, and it was just a questioning that he went for.
Let me quickly take the major headlines. So there is a project called the Nigerian Security Tracker. It's a project by the American think tank, and they released quarterly reports. So the figure they gave is that 3,125 innocent persons have been killed 2,703 abducted by bandits in northern Nigeria alone in the past 11 months. I know that we're still going to find time to talk about the not bleeding on the show, but we just need to mention this. The report is also highlighting the fact that even though Zamfara had a no-flight zone in March, even though the base station, the state in September shut down all the base stations, they are still finding ways to. Criminals are still finding ways to communicate with one another, crossing the borders. Local community, some local governments on the borders are also being affected in Katsina, Sokoto, Kaduna. These are the states where they've recorded most of the challenges happening with banditry and the insecurity.
Right. Okay, let's move on quickly now to Vanguard. Omicron, Nigeria threatens UK, Canada, others. Gunmen invade Plateau community, kill 10. DSS took my blood samples 21 times, Kano cries out. Akonde's book, Official Bola Ige's killer Soyinka tells Buhari. Why doctors are leaving Nigeria in droves, Professor Uja, NMA president. $418 million Paris Club brief on FG asks courts to dismiss suit by 36 states. And monthly petrol subsidy rises by 684% in 10 months. Okay.
Yeah, so in Plateau State, in Wase, local government penal community to be precise, it's been reported that 10 people have been killed. And these killings was done by gunmen on Sunday. They drove into the community, into the market area, and started shooting sporadically. Same modus operandi like we've read over and over in other states. And of course, everyone, ran away, scattered everywhere. The police say that they're on it, and thankfully calm has returned to the area. And eyewitnesses have also said this isn't the first time that they have experienced kidnappings and all these criminal activities within that community. So same story, government.
All right, so I was going to take the major headlines. So remember yesterday we took the story on how Nigeria responded, the fact that United Kingdom. The report by Daily Mail of London, they said that the United Kingdom would scrap the travel red list and replace it with testing for fully vaccinated people. So instead of totally banning, that's what the news report said in the UK, but we've not been confirmed officially giving that information. But the PSC Steering Committee Chairman, the Minister of Aviation and Senator Hadi Serika was giving the warning in Abuja, saying that the back and forth with UAE I'm trying to get the letter that was written. But this row is going on with UAE. Hopefully they can find some kind of a solution to it, because the truth is that is worsening the fact that Nigerians who are abroad now are stranded. They can't come home. They have to find different countries to ally. They can't come directly back home, and that's a problem. So there has to be diplomatic solutions to this, where both countries are able to come to the table and have a discussion. At least let our citizens come back home.
Well, he says that letter that is flying around on social media, he hasn't received it. As of 4 p.m. last night, he had not received any letter. And anyway, any letter would have to go through diplomatic channels to get to him. So let's assume that it is a fake letter, or let us hope, because I know people who
are not being asked to stop anywhere.
And that has happened before. That situation had happened before, where I know a client of mine was stranded in Kenya. They took Kenya Airways to Dubai, and when they got to Kenya, the policy had taken effect earlier this year, and they were not allowed to fly out of Kenya. Every other person that was allowed to go, they told them to come down from the plane because they had Nigerian passports. So if the government is going to make threats, they must have the lever to follow through with these threats, and they must be willing to protect their citizens wherever they find themselves.
We are really being harassed, though.
As in,
we are harassed within, we are harassed outside the country.
It's our own officials. When they want to go, will they go with their private jets?
Nigerian passport is not allowed.
So if our president needs treatment now, he's not going to go.
Let's go on a break. It's not our hot topic. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. Okay, deal.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy Eastplash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR check.
Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still on Vanguard. I think there's a story we haven't taken.
The story of Nnamdi Kanu has filed a case. He filed a suit through one of his lawyers, Maxwell Okpara, alleging the fact that doctors within the agency, the security agency that has held him, have taken his blood sample 21 times. That they've been taking his blood samples and they've not allowed him to change his clothes or practice his religion in detention. That is inhuman. He also asked that his medical record should be released to him so that he can get himself treated. The blood samples are taken without his own permission. The doctors come, take his blood, then they don't tell him what they took the blood for.
The doctor is a quack.
And he doesn't get the results.
First of all, I think that the DSS have to actually make a statement, because this is very damning.
Yes.
A very damning statement about them, one. And two, what comes innocent? You're innocent until you are proven guilty. He's still in court. Why are they treating him like he's guilty? And I'm not holding forth for him or anything.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm laughing. It's not a funny matter. There's a fly running about here.
Okay, let's move on to Daily Sun. Nigerians to pay more taxes levies next year. Lawan defends cars, jumbo pay for lawmakers. COVID-19 will no longer accept short shelf life vaccines, says federal government. MTN, Mafab, Communications win FG's 5G auction. Body of Sands call on judiciary to defend independence. Stronger executive-legislative partnership will deepen democracy, says Buhari. So, I wanted to take the Senate President's speech.
Yes, please take it.
So, the Senate President was saying that he's very, very disturbed. That why are we complaining about the jumbo salary of lawmakers? And he was saying that, let me see, he was saying specifically that even civil servants from assistant director are entitled to official cars. And he wonders why lawmakers who are elected should be denied these privileges. He also said that, let me I want to quote him so that you know what I'm talking about. He says that,
Can I help you?
Yeah. Please help me out.
He says the House of Reps, they're only entitled to Toyota Camrys and then Land Cruiser for the senators. He says their salaries are it's only 1.5 million for them and 1.3 million for House of Reps. So why are people...
And they get 13 million quarterly to run their offices. He now said, he asked a very interesting question, which I would love to answer. He said, why is getting a Toyota Camry for members of the National Assembly and a Land Cruiser for the senators a hideous proposition? Mr. Senate President, let me tell you why. It is because, first of all, these entitlements that you say various levels are entitled to were man-made. They didn't come from heaven. Somebody sat down and said, okay, as a director, you get this. As a lawmaker, you get this. As a senator, you get this. And we're saying, in view of the reality of our country, we want you to review it, because you're also a human being. The same human being that wrote it the first time. Another human being can also check it and can also change it. So it's not like it's a hideous proposition. It's a proposition for you to review, considering the economic realities of our time, period.
And I want to add to that, security operatives who don't earn a quarter, a tenth of that, who are supposed to protect us,
are protecting you.
They are protecting you and cannot even protect us because they cannot afford to. Their pension is low. A policeman retires, he collects his pension. In 2 years, he's begging.
Exactly. In fact, this is a hot topic because if we do the calculation and say, you know what, if we make your job part-time such that you go there with your own car, if we need official car for office runs, no problem, you take official car for that. But if we now save that fund and say, okay, the money we've saved from this Land Cruiser, so we are putting it into the police welfare. We the people see that, we now say, hey, you are now doing something. But when we don't, when the police is still suffering, and you are still driving Land Cruiser, that's the problem.
Because they are earning money.
Let's just move forward, because he was saying,
turning that money into foreign exchange and buying foreign cars, put it back use it to buy Nigerian cars, use that money within the Nigerian system. Let's
exactly.
Even more money, and then you can have jumbo, whatever, years down the line.
All right, let's take another story in Son. Who has it? COVID-19?
Yes, I've got COVID-19. So, you know, the federal government is saying that, see, we're no longer going to accept all these vaccines that they sent to us with short shelf life, because it really puts us under undue pressure. It says we have received over 10 million of these vaccines and we have administered them. Remember, we took a story of the 1 million doses of vaccines that have expired, and that's because they already come with a really short shelf life. And the government is also saying that they are going to publicly incinerate them so that Nigerians you know, don't feel any fear that they would be used on us.
Okay, moving on quickly to the Nigerian Tribune. Let's find a story we've not taken. Mixed feelings as Lagos earmarks 5 billion naira to kickstart monthly rental policy. Confusion over UAE's ban on passengers from Nigeria. New finance bill, FG proposes 5-year jail term for non-remittance of tax and other revenues. Kanu's blood sample taken more than 21 times, lawyer alleges. 18-year-old traffic robber arrested for third time in Lagos. 16 years after Nigeria's violence against persons law, still struggling for domestication in 17 states. 124 years after Benin Palace takes possession of stolen artifacts. Nigeria regains top crude oil production spots in Africa, says OPEC report. All right.
Lagos State.
Okay.
Right,
Okay, so Lagos State just recently concluded the Lagos Real Estate Marketplace Conference and Exhibitions, which is themed 21st Century Real Estate Investment Hub. And so the good news that's come out of this is that the Lagos State government is showing commitment to the monthly rental policy that, it's recently talked about and introduced. So they are going to put in, so Lagos State would commit this 5 billion naira, and Nigerians will be able to pay monthly. But it's sort of like a fund so that the landlords them are paid, yearly by the government, but tenants, regular Nigerian Lagosians are able to pay monthly. So that risk is covered of what if I'm not paid on time, what if I'm not paid at all. And the Lagos State says it did this because it did a survey, and it shows that 88% of Lagosians have said it would be best for them to pay monthly rents instead of the yearly one. And I think it's good. And also the governor is saying that they are going to be donating 50 hectares of land to the Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, and that's just to deepen real estate investments in the state. So good news.
Interesting, because I remember offering my driver that twice a month paid salary, and I think he was able to adjust himself, because he just felt that instead of waiting till the end of the month, he likes me every 2 weeks, give me something. So he has something for me. So we tested that, and he liked it. So I think it's a good idea. If you feel that, listen, I can replan my, it's like you can plan your payments of rents monthly.
The stolen artifact. So 124 years after, there was the stolen artifact that was taken during the 1897 invasion of the Benin Empire by British imperialists, was finally returned officially to the Oba of Benin. And good news, there are two particular artifacts that were returned. One is the cockerel, and another one. I was also sorry. I don't want to murder it. This is my
okay.
in-laws.
Our final stories.
Yes.
Before you go on, because I was listening to the radio this morning, and one of the radio was saying that they didn't steal it, that it was the spoils of war.
It was stolen.
And I was like, huh? He says he has been saying stolen since, and now he's thinking, no, it's not stolen, that is spoils of war. And me, I was in the car, I was like, I was boiling.
But I think that we should hand over. It's a very unique craft that the Benin Kingdom had way back in 124 years ago. But because we did not, I hope we're handing over that craft, that unique ability to the new generation, so that they can produce as well. Because art is of huge value. Now this will be in the museum that will sit in Benin, that will be open.
They've asked Wole Soyinka to
be on the board.
Be on the board. Hopefully, they will create a good museum, and because
to attract tourist revenue to the country. Okay, let's go on a break. That is all we can take on this review. When we return, we move on to the hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day, all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Flash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News, watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup
check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script
check.
Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR
check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Thanks for staying with us. So in the past 2 weeks, we've been discussing the issue of the young boy who died as a result of bullying by his colleagues in school. But one of the angles we're yet to talk about is the part of the parent, being a parent of a bully, and how we can talk to each other or help each other when you know your child is a bully, especially when your child is bullying others to the point where they are bedridden or they've been severely injured. Okay. So you know, in fact, in worst case, now killed. So you're a mother to a child that potentially probably killed someone. How do you manage the emotions in this? And obviously, we need an expert to have this conversation, but it's important to even hear mothers' thoughts. We're all parents. And at some point, maybe we can also get in an expert to shed some light on how we can heal through this emotional trauma. But the truth is that they tell us you don't throw a baby away with the bathwater. To a mother or to a parent, that child is still their child, regardless of how the whole world paints this person. So we're talking to parents today. How do we help each other in a situation where you know that this child who you carried and nursed, who came clean, did not come with bullying from heaven. This behavior was learned. How, therefore, do you move on from there? That's our conversation today. I'd like to hear from mothers, fathers, parents, guardians. If you've been through this phase, what did you do? How did you handle it? Let's learn from each other this morning. You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also send us messages on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be happy to read those messages. I don't know who would like to start. Go ahead.
Okay, so for me, I believe that if a parent, mother, father find themselves in a situation where their child has done something as gruesome as being involved in the bullying of a child that probably led to his death, the first response would always be to love the child, not what the child did, and identify that there's a difference between every human being, what they do, and help the child to go through the process of realizing what they've done wrong. But we must acknowledge that they've done something wrong. So many times our tendency is to shield our children, protect them. I don't want whatever is going to happen, let me hide my child somewhere. Monkey no find, mama like him. My child is not a killer. He's not a killer. It must have been a mistake. Something happened. We want to deny. My first is don't deny. Something wrong has happened. Healing comes from taking ownership of what has gone wrong. So somewhere along the line, somebody within the family dropped the ball in monitoring the child, because every child comes to us plain. Everything we put into it, and the result is what we get. We've always said that every adult is a report card on the parenting and the society. So if that child is not just about the parents alone, the society contributed to the child becoming a bully, and here we are. So the first thing is to acknowledge the fact that your child has done something bad, but the child is not a bad person. The human being can be corrected. Every human being, no matter how bad, can be treated, and then expose your child to the right treatment.
But Mara, okay, I want you to add to that, because I also wanted to add the angle that, yes, you can separate the act from the child, but when society, we're a communal society where it's about what they say, how the family sees us, or the perception, how people see us. And when you have that pressure of emotions from external emotion coming inwards, how, as a parent, can you handle that if you're going to go with her own advice?
Yeah. Okay, so even before we get to how to handle the fallout of your child being a bully, I feel that at that point we're talking about the justice system. But first of all, I want us to talk about who creates a bully, who enables the bully. Where these bullies, like you said, where they come from, our children come plain. Then how come this my child who I've raised and I have nurtured has become a bully? I personally believe that bullies are made at home. They are raised by parents. And the wisdom that adulthood gives you, that maturity gives you, where you somehow tamper some of your excesses, you understand it, you know how to, a child does not have them. A child just uses it and just becomes that. So we have parents who, when they're speaking to each other or they're speaking to their friends, they are so loud and rude. You know that this, in any other setting, it would be outright bullying. And the child is listening. You're on the phone, you're talking to your domestic staff or to your colleagues or to your friends, or you're telling about something, that how you handle something. And I showed her. Did you see me? The child is like, oh, okay, that's what. That is where we are the ones that create bullies. That's the truth. But I also believe that bullies, especially in schools, will not thrive if teachers and the adults that are supposed to be in that environment do not enable it. And I mean enabling by either you turn you turn your face away from what you see, you notice it, but you have we have created a system where now, especially in these really expensive schools, you have teachers who feel I'm paid this certain amount of money as salary. It's really not much compared to how much these parents are paying. And then this child comes, he has everything and anything, can get away with anything. And I am the teacher that I'm teaching. First of all, they're angry at the proprietor or the system. How come you're getting all this money and then it's not reflecting in how much I'm getting? And so she either pallies up with parents who are able to give her more gifts, and so she shows more care and attention, or they show more care and attention to the child that they get more gifts from. And then you turn away from the vulnerable child that maybe is unable to do that, or the parents do not understand that that's something that you need to do. So teachers, I'm saying that because I have a personal experience when my child was bullied in his first 2 classes. And then the bullying stopped by his 3rd and his 4th classes. And the reason why those 2 situations happened was because of how the teachers in those classes behaved. My son talks about his primary 3 and primary 4 teachers as if they are angels because of the way they stepped in and made sure bullying stopped. And he talks about the other first 2 teachers and how the bullying happened, because really they didn't care. It was not their business. And even when I brought it up, they didn't think it was a problem. So now we have that. We now take the blame. I want us all to realize that it is our fault. These children did not just drop from heaven. We have played our part. Now, when something happens and it involves, in this case, when it involves death, justice system, you have to go through the courts. I'm sorry, this is going to be the hardest thing you ever do as a parent, but what can you do? This is where you have found yourself. But before you even get to that point, when you already see how your child interacts with other children, step in quickly.
So they're
and
also
warn them that these may be the consequences if you don't.
So there are cases where these children are, children are children. I'm talking about less than 16-year-old kids. They're still building their personalities, and they are easily influenced by their peers. So your child as a very quiet, shy person, and somewhat got swamped or got swallowed into this group of people that, for him, it was his way of becoming an accepted, cool guy with his colleagues. So it's not his intention. Unfortunately, he participated in this, and now he's in trouble. And as a mother, that is not who he truly is. A woman in that situation, it's so hard for her to accept that this child might end up going to jail. So how does a mother or a father help a child who might end up paying for their crime? I don't know how we can even understand this, reason this thing out.
There is no way you can reason it out, as far as I'm concerned. Because I totally agree, I'm 100% on Miriam's page. Take the responsibility. Your child ends up like that, you are the first person to take the responsibility. It's your fault. That child was trained by you, watched you, and it's the example that you showed to him. So, maybe if your child is going to jail, you yourself can give yourself jail sentence because it's your fault that child ended up like that. Look, the young kids of today, a lot of their parents show them what they cannot afford, what the child cannot afford. The child hasn't worked before, the child hasn't, and you buy the child a Gucci bag. Why? He's never worked for a day in his life. He hasn't earned it. So now he thinks this thing comes easily. I asked my brother's kids to give me a Christmas list when I was traveling. And when I opened the list and I saw what was inside the list, I said, I called my brother quickly. I said, do you know what? He said, because he does not use anything. He doesn't wear a watch. He just wears Ankara or Adire. Shoes.
So that's the influence.
The influence is from their peers.
So my question now is...
So they are seeing their peers come to school with Gucci bag. When I got back, I said, are you all world? Which work have you ever done that you want to use Gucci school bag? Money, do you see my age?
How many Gucci bags have you carry?
All right, let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be. Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Lọ́n fún mi, kádàrá aláwọ̀ àkàkàjù. Àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú, tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it?
Ọdún wa sọ nìyẹn.
Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
Àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ bí jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọ mọ̀ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ẹ̀ kí ọmọ tó mọ̀ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup
check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script
Check.
Are we set in the VCR? All Tim in place? VCR
Check. Clock is ticking. Time is racing. Lights on. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still talking about being a parent of a bully. And one of the things that I had mentioned earlier was societal factors, you know. So, you know, we are, as I said, we're a communal society where what people say sometimes always matters to us. So, your child has been accused of bullying or is a bully in school, to the point where a child might have been injured or severely injured or possibly even killed. And as a parent, you're trying to manage the child's emotions and also external factors, the grandparents, the extended family, the influence, everybody trying to be part of this conversation. So the real question is, how does a parent handle not just the child, but also the external factors concerning that child?
I think what's most important is the child. And I think that sometimes we just need to focus on, like, it's not what everybody will say. And I know what they're saying is important. But when you're in the time of crisis, it's important that you let that child understand you care about the child. Because the standard parenting style here is we abandon children that have not followed the rules. So your child gets pregnant, you say, go, leave my house with pregnancy. Your child goes to prison, you say, I'm never going to see you again, you're no longer my child. So the idea of abandonment is usually our first response, and it is not a successful response, because sadly our correctional facilities are not correctional facilities. The rate of recidivism, which is the ability of people going to prison and going back to prison, is very high, because we don't get corrected, they get worse. So it's important, if a parent finds him or herself with a child that has committed crime and is now being remanded or in prison or being interrogated, don't abandon that child. That's when they need you the most. So it might require you to be extra strong, but you must stand in gap for that child. And I've seen in most cases the stories we hear online where people get into prison or they get into crisis, everybody leaves them alone, and then they are now embraced by the criminals.
Let me take this call. Josephine from Ajah. Good morning, are you there? Hello, Josephine, are you there? Hello, Josephine, are you there? All right. Yeah, go ahead, Mariam.
So, I don't totally agree with you that parents tend to just abandon a child when they find themselves in a sticky situation like that, I think parents usually stand in and try to find a way to stop to shield the child from actually taking the responsibility that the child needs to take in, especially if you have some influence. You know, we know people, we know who to call, those sort of things. So we constantly shield children from taking responsibilities for their action to the point where they'll do something really big and you have run out of your circle of influence and people that you can call. So it's important from when it is small, whatever the consequences of their actions are, that they face them before you have something as big as this. But when something as big as this happens, most people who have money, who have influence, have always found a way to make sure that their children are, I mean, look at case in point. We had, I don't know how true this is, where they said some of the children were taken out of the country, were taken away, because whether we like it or not, as a parent, your first instinct, especially as a mother, is to protect your young. And so you want to protect them. But the thing is, you come from a country, a society, and there are systems, and you must face the law.
Well, you're going to say something for, because mistakes happen. You know, I mean, there are children who just, this thing happened to them. And you don't want them to feel like they've been abandoned for a mistake they made. Go ahead, Wake.
I was just going to say, I think we need to check our correctional facilities as well, because these kids, if they're found guilty, they're going to go into juvenile homes.
Yes.
And being in juvenile homes, what is going to happen to them? Are they going to continue their education? Are they going to be corrected? Because in the papers today, there was this 18-year-old boy who has been locked up 3 times in the last how many months? And he has been gone to jail. Every time he comes out of jail, he goes back, and he has been stealing in traffic.
Yes.
And the last one, they caught him. He stole 7,000. He said, because he didn't have money to buy his drugs. He was owing, and he was begging for leniency. He's 18. Yeah. That means he committed the offenses before he was 18. Yeah. And he will go to jail again, and he will come back, and he will do it again. What is... These children, I mean, I feel sorry for them because they're kids.
Let me take this call. Good morning, are you there?
Yes, Mariah, good morning.
You're live, madam. Go ahead, please.
Sounds familiar.
Yes, I'm Josephine.
You're welcome to the show, Josephine. Go ahead, madam.
I'm a lover of your show.
Thank you, madam.
Can you hear me?
Very clearly.
Yes, God has made us a caretaker as a parent. And the Bible says, train up a child the way he should go. And when he grows, he will not depart from it. God knows that if as a parent, if we cannot do it, we have lost it. From the beginning, it was not so. We have lost our societal value. We have lost our parental value. You watch these children growing to become a bully. It doesn't start a day, Morayo. The children will be talking anyhow. The parents say, leave her. Don't touch my child. Don't touch if you try it. See, in those days when we grow up, when we are growing up, people from outside correct us. You'll be scared of doing some things. There's some parents, they let these things, they nurture these things. That is why we're having problems. So we tell you, don't touch my child if you try it. And they are seeing the fault. Instead of you to say, okay, I beg help me beat him anytime he misbehaves. Help me to handle him. Yeah, you will be the one that will be shouting at the person, telling you this is what your child is doing. I don't know whether you are seeing. So
Thank you very much.
We have lost it.
Yeah.
In godly manner, in any all manner, we have lost it. Please, parents should wake up. Mostly the ones that are not yet giving birth now. They should know that they have many things to do in their life.
Thank you very much, Josephine. Now, see, she brought an angle that I would have loved BC to be here, because these are all these parental conversations that they always have. You know, beat the child. Today, we have been encouraged not to hit our children. Let's have a conversation with them. You know, that children do not need to be spanked, because it hasn't been, really been, is it beneficial, is what I'm looking for? For us as adults, we're looking back. But in a situation whereby there are some children who somewhat are troublesome or stubborn in some way, that you feel that this guy needs to be totally handled with a rod. But people like Praise for Owe and others, and Obiajilu, Ugo, will say, don't hit the child. How do we reconcile both the various, don't hit your child, yet we want to raise a child that will not go and bully somebody else?
No, we discipline a child. We don't beat the child. you discipline.
So how discipline therefore means run
the child.
Okay.
What we do is vent our frustration on the child.
Okay.
We are not disciplining the child. We vent our frustration by beating you. How can you break the TV? You break a TV. How can you break the laptop I just bought for you? Or how can you slap your kid? We are venting.
Pause. That's what you just did right now is venting. Let me tell you what is not venting. You've broken the TV. I'm going to give you 10 strokes of the cane. Have we agreed? Yes. Raise your hand. I didn't do. I'm just saying that there are two different things. So I am not venting my anger.
Me. Our first job is to observe a child.
Okay.
For some children, can I start beating them would work.
Yes.
For other children, beating them makes no difference. Like they just take the beating, move on.
Yes.
So when you understand your goal of discipline is to deprive the child of what he likes in a way that every time he wants to have access to that thing and he doesn't get it, he will remember that I did something wrong, so I have no access to television. I did something wrong, I will not have my bicycle. I did something wrong, I will not have this game that I would have played. I did something wrong, I am not going out. This child, I know the way this boy used to behave when he tell him to lie down. It's not any punishment to just lie down on the floor. The fact that he's unable to move and jump around, he is crying. If you beat him, you've not done anything. Yeah. But keeping him to sit down in one position for the next 30 minutes, you have punished him more than anything at all.
Okay. Yes, and I also believe that this beating that we say is a part of bullying a child, and a child would also take that that experience and meet it out on his friends or his classmates, because that is how he understands to handle confrontation. So every time I do something wrong, every time my parent is unhappy with what I've done, I get flogged. So I'm unhappy with what you have done, I will find a way to beat you so that you feel it. So we're teaching them how to handle issues when it happens. So when you sit down with someone and you have a conversation with him or her, you're hoping that when they have a confrontation with someone, they're able to express how they feel with their words and also action. I'm not going to talk to you. I don't want to be your friend anymore. You don't need, I give you your space. But if I've been taught, all I need to do is punch my way out of a situation, you will do that.
I like where this conversation is going to, because some of us right now, we have children where they're always fighting and beating each other up. I mean, I was talking to my daughter that just when they said, I would really like you to solve this problem by having a conversation with your siblings. You don't have to hit your brother to communicate your displeasure. And I had that conversation with her just 2 days ago. You don't have to hit him. I want you to have a conversation, because you don't have to express anger by hitting somebody else. And I think that's part of the training that Josephine was saying. We have to train each other, but there are different children. Some are auditory. Those ones, if you want to speak to them, all they need is all they need is to be told, and they're fine.
I was a child like that. If you beat me, I would harden myself like this, and nothing will happen. But if you just talk to me like this, the tears will just start flowing. So children are different. You have to observe. Some will keep trying you. Some will keep trying you. I think a lot of parents don't. You don't have the. You just lash out. And
it's a lot of work to discipline.
It's lazy parenting.
Yes.
It's frustrating. You are frustrated, so you just lash out at the child. It doesn't. I don't think. I think I hit my daughter once, and I felt so bad that I went to go and beg her.
So going back,
if I recall, it was out of frustration that I hit her.
We're going to be wrapping up on this conversation now, but I want us to bring it home, because it goes back to putting yourself in the shoes of the child, of the parent who has to deal with the child, who you want to love, at the same time reprimand for what they did. How do you do it such that they still know that you're the mother and you love them, you're the father that you love them, but understand and recognize that they not only have to recognize what they did, but must pay for what they did. If your child has bullied another child, what do you do? I'm not saying the extreme case of somebody died. Your child has bullied, and the school principal has reported that child and said, your child just beat up her classmate. What would you do as a parent?
I would punish her.
What's
immediately?
Punishment?
I cannot think, since my child was not a bully, I didn't have to deal with it.
Okay, I've heard so many examples of how parents have dealt with their children when they've bullied others. And you know what, bullying also starts with just talking. That beating too is an extreme case. So a particular parent said his child bullied another child in church because the child always wears the same shoe to church. and the shoe was scuffed and everything. Of course, she has a lot. So he made sure she packed all her shoes and gave it to that child, and she wore the same shoes to church every Sunday until she learned her lesson. You know, there was a recent one where another one was really rude to a classmate, and he made the child walk. You know, you use the things that they think emboldens them, that makes them feel like I'm superior. That's what you would use to teach them a lesson. If you feel that, oh, I have better clothes than you, because we have kids that have better clothes than you, my shoes are this, my clothes are this, then sorry, you have those things because I bought them for you, and this is what I'll give you going forward, just like everyone else. You don't necessarily have to.
Sorry, Mary. That's how you have to start to train the child
from the get-go.
From the get, you know, not because she sees, look, you are wearing this. Some children are not as privileged as you. You need to start to train the child from the beginning.
Yes.
I mean, my brother's daughter has blunt disease, and one child was
making fun of her.
Making fun of her. I see your leg. You know, it shouldn't be encouraged with children.
Let me go on a quick break. I want us to bring this conversation home. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day, all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Flash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be. Doubt and
a little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of your view and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing this issue of bullying, and we're talking about the parents of bullies. Turkey, you're going to say something for the break.
You asked us a question that, like, sort of like in conclusion, what are key things for parents to take home? We ought to work on ourselves as parents, because we are a reflection. Our children will reflect us. They will reflect how we deal with every situation, good and bad. And it's a job to work on ourselves. It's a real job, but the benefit to come with our children. I had a conversation yesterday in the makeup room, and I was saying, all this cursing, you know, the F word. I said, one was like, I always say it, I always use it. I said, well, the day that they call you in your child's school as a parent, and they say your child used this language in class, that's when you realize that you can control yourself. That there are things you do because you might feel, I can do it, I'm an adult. But because you have a child, you become, your responsibility as a parent supersedes your independence as an adult. So there are many things we feel like venting. You want to insult your driver, you want to insult your house girl. This person is not thinking, is not doing what? Everything you are doing, imagine if your child is doing it also. Would you like it? So we need to take the assignment of working on ourselves. And also, I think it's important that we don't abdicate parenting, because many parents are hustling for money that we don't face parenting anymore. We outsource everything that has to do with our children's life, and we feel like as long as we have money to pay for all those things we have outsourced, they should be fine. They are not. There are things that only you will see. And so it's important to give that time to understand your children enough to connect with them, because that's when you will see that you shouldn't talk to your house girl like that. She's not your house girl. She's my house girl. Yeah. Wash the plates. She's not your maid. She's not the one, you shouldn't talk to her like that, because she's an adult. Because she's working for us doesn't mean that you should be rude to her like that. So
I want
we
to
must
address,
spend that time.
because as you're wrapping up, there are different levels. There is the rich kids level where they feel spoiled, as Waki had said earlier, where you get everything you want. And there's also the lower level where there's frustration at home sometimes, where the parents feel as if there's so much not going right. And they take out their anger on the children take it out on their friends. So in all strata of society, there can be bullying. I don't want us to make it look as if it's only the rich kids that kind of bully because they have everything else. Yeah. So different levels of kids can bully. But what is uniform across all is that love. Every child, regardless of what level they're in, need love and reassurance and need proper role modeling from their parents. Because that is, regardless of where you are, your parents, your children must be able to see that you're modeling that behavior they expect to see of you outside. Yes, Maria.
You're so right. I think we mainly concentrated on a particular socioeconomic group, but we do have children of those like low income, and then some of them bully those who have more than them. And cases like that, a lot of people will say it's because, they were not raised with love, they were raised on survival mode. So every time, I remember when we were in secondary school, we used to have boys who would say, there's some streets, you go into that particular street, and the boys will take off your shoes. Yeah. You have more than them, but they have more physical strength than you, and maybe their numbers. So it's also raising how you're being raised at home. And you hope that if they cannot get the proper training at home, that when they find themselves in school, teachers or that system will be able to step in to model, the way a young child should behave. And there was something else that you said, which I think we missed, where you mentioned, I hope I don't forget it again. You were saying something about, I forgot that.
Okay, but
go ahead.
Our society is a society of bullying. Whether you are rich, it's true.
Everybody bullies.
Everybody is bullying somebody. I will give you, because I asked myself one question. I saw some boys on the road. No, it's a normal thing. You see these area boys, and they have one thing in common. Wherever you meet them in Lagos, they all have that voice. So I ask, where do they all get that voice from? And they are not of the same parents. They have they adapt that voice to be able to bully another person. That's area boys bullying. Then you have police, they will do their own. Yeah. And so I think our society has failed us. And you will say I'm always saying government will do their own. When we are on TV, you have to watch what you say so that they don't come and arrest you.
Yeah. Anyways, we have to wrap up.
Also, don't close your TV station down because nobody has freedom.
We have to wrap up. I'll let you.
It starts from somewhere.
I want you to give us that final, because I want you to speak to the mother or the father right now whose child is bullying, and they're trying to deal with that situation, because we have to wrap up. I want you to give us a final statement to them, Waiki.
I would say, first check yourself.
Right.
It starts with you.
Right.
If you are not doing something, you are probably not doing something right. You definitely are not doing something right. So the child is emulating and copying you. Yeah. So, and if it is not you, then it is the school environment. So you need to either take him out of that school or go and solve the problem before it becomes what you can't deal with.
So I would say that I think parents should be humble enough to admit they don't know how to deal with a situation. If you find yourself with your child bullying people, and you don't know, seek professional help. It is important. There are people who are trained therapists, trained psychologists, who will sit down with your child and help your child get to the root of the bullying, and help your child understand how best to overcome the tendency they have. It is important as a parent. You might not know how to deal with the bullying. You might not even know how to help yourself with bullying as a bully parent. Seek professional help to help you control your bullying tendency and help your child overcome his or her bullying tendencies as well.
Yeah. Right. And I'll refer to that thing which I missed, which is you have a child who is not a bully but hangs out with bullies for clout and influence. So that we're the cool people in the school. You need to have a relationship with your child so you know the kind of friends that they have and the sort of things that they do and the sort of things that he finds attractive. You need to be in your child's ear. You need to also have, is it church program? Is it parents, children, groups where your child sees and emulates good behavior, and also let children understand that there are consequences for every action. And if you hang out with bad friends, when that wave of punishment comes for your bad friends, it will come for you, whether you are just standing and looking at them or just hailing them. So children need to understand that.
And for me, is be kind to your house help. Your kids watch you.
Absolutely.
Or house help, the way people talk to their house help, I cringe.
Yeah. And I would say that love, in all you do, you can love your child through this process, because even the almighty Hitler had people he loved, had people who loved him. The truth is that no matter how bad the person is, every human being needs love. And a lack of love at some point is where a child goes out to demand or try to suppress others, to demand and insist on certain things. So there's love missing somewhere. And when you love a child genuinely and they see that there's true love, all that child has to give is also love to others. So check yourself, as Waiki had said. There's got to be love in your heart to help this child through this. And we just pray and ask for God's help and guidance and professional help through this process. Let's go on a break.
Love is not about gifts, so giving Gucci bag and... Love is real love, attention. It's not giving your child a phone or a tablet.
Yes. All right, let's go on a break. When we come back, move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Kádàrá aláwọ̀ àkàkàjù. Àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it?
ọkọ tí wàá sọ nìyẹn.
Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ tó jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọ mọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkéyọ̀ mọ́ tó mọ́ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR check.
Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights up. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR
check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights up. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Thanks for staying with us. So, moving on to other matters, especially it's Tuesday, so we're talking about health cases. COVID-19 cases are on the increase, raising fears that the country is on the verge of maybe a fourth wave of coronavirus. According to reports, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, showed that the 28th of November to the 4th of December, a total of 585 cases were reported. Joining us on the show is the infectious disease physician and head infectious disease unit, Department of Medicine, University of Lagos, University Teaching Hospital, Luth, Dr. Ihan Akase. Good morning, Dr. Ihohen.
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
So, COVID-19 cases, we have sort of relaxed in our adherence to the COVID-19 guidelines as not just a state, as a country at large. But the government have consistently tried to remind Nigerians to maintain social distancing and wear the face mask. Could you give us an update on where we are concerning the number of cases that are reported that we have as of today?
Okay, so consistently, we've seen over the past few days increased number of cases that have been reported officially. So yesterday, 2 days ago, the numbers were more than 500, 600. I've not checked today's figures. But what we're seeing on ground, really, is that those figures markedly underestimate the number of people that are having symptoms. We're seeing lots and lots of people having symptoms which are mild, and are not necessarily coming to hospital to be checked. But now with the knowledge, people are taking medications and doing all of that and are staying at home. So it's really something that we've seen in terms of clinically, but also in terms of reported cases. But clearly, the reported cases markedly underestimate what's on ground. Fortunately, there are mild cases generally. People are just having febrile illnesses, treating malaria or some other thing, and and getting better. And the real concern among people who work in infectious disease is that this is we hope that it stays like this. Waves usually start in this manner. You see people usually mild, increased number of uptick in number of cases, people having symptoms, but generally mild until it breaks into the community full scale and starts picking up on the vulnerable people. So it's cause for concern, to be honest, and I'm happy that the government, at least of Lagos State, is addressing this as such. Yeah.
Okay, so Dr. Kasi, I have to ask, these large numbers that we're looking at, is this a new variant? When we see these large numbers, are we testing them to find out if it's the new Omicron variant? And these symptoms that you have spoken about, there's so many people, almost daily, we see these people with sore throat, body pain, headaches. But people have gone and done tests, and it says it is not the virus. So is there maybe flu season, Harmattan season, intermingled with this COVID? What's happening?
Yeah, so those are very valid, questions and observations you raised. So to start off with the testing, we all know that countries bring up testing policies based on what they're able to do. For example, elsewhere, people who are exposed to other people with COVID, not even symptomatic, exposed to other people are supposed to be doing daily testing to see as of when, because one-off tests usually hardly ever tells you, the truth of the matter. Viral infections are picked up at the point, when people do tests, it's like a snapshot of that particular point in time you are seeing the person. And so many factors affect whether results come up positive or not. Depends on how much virus are being shared at that point. It depends on the technique that the sample was taken. So many factors depend on what the viral load was at that point in time. So one single off testing, have their own shortcomings, which which is clear enough. Secondly, with new variants, older kids are sort of giving us unpredictable results here and there. And we're saying that, with repeat tests, with different, modalities, we're now picking up that. Having said that, you like rightly said, the weather has changed a little bit. So with or without COVID, this is a time where we'll have other forms of, respiratory tract infections, which are also viral in nature. So the symptoms at the beginning will still be the same, more or less, on sore throat, stuffy nose, febrile illnesses, joint aches here and there. Yeah. So all of those cannot be ruled out. However, to be honest with you, our capacity, the country's capacity to test to sequence each and every sample taken to know what type of virus this is, and if it's COVID, what variant this is lacking at the moment, to be honest. Now, I think most labs are just doing PCR, and at the most, they are banking the samples. Over time, I'm sure they will be tested to know, okay, what was it Delta, was it COVID, was it Omicron and all that. But to be honest, I don't think all our labs are sequencing all the COVID variants to know what type of variant we're dealing with. So as a country, I don't think anybody can give you that kind of data at the moment. Yeah.
It's really sad. It's really, really sad. Is it a lack of funding though? Because I know that a lot of Nigeria has gotten a lot of support, donations to help improve testing capacity and all of that, because we're currently being touted like a red list country, like this thing might have originated from us, or maybe we mutated here. but we cannot tell. Based on your own knowledge of what is going on, do you believe that any research is going on from our own end as a country to tell if it started from us? Do we have the capacity to do it?
I think I already answered that, but go ahead.
Well, so the truth of the matter is that, you know, as a country, you know, at the beginning, you mentioned the attitudes we all have had towards COVID. It's not just from the general population. It's from government, from funding agencies. Everybody just wishes COVID had gone, just goes away. Nobody is willing to do the hard work. To be honest, you know, investment, you know, our healthcare system has always been weak, to be honest. And, you know, COVID did strengthen some areas, you know, but it's always been an attitude of when the pressure is up, people jump up and say, okay, what can we do? Where can we throw in a few investments here and there? But to be honest, research funding, I mean, 2 weeks ago, when in a conference with people in the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, this is supposed to be apex research body as far as government is concerned. Their funding is miserable. They can't do anything in terms of, you know, I mean, they're running helter-skelter trying to get funding. I mean, research is expensive. Logistic-wise, you know, getting capacity, building capacity. Unfortunately, like we've seen with many other aspects of our life, public, you know, aspects, those structures have been very, very neglected, and now we're seeing the effect of that. To be honest with you, most of the research output we've seen from scientists in the country have either come from personal, you know, funds, personal, you know, that, or of course now we know TED Fund has come on board, you know, trying to, you know, cut up gaps. But infrastructure that has been neglected for so long is going to take a while. So, and this is why, you know, I'm a scientist I work with. So I must commend Nigerian scientists for working with you know, their fingernails to try and bring an output. But to be honest, the challenge we face now, you know, and the things, where everybody just wishes COVID goes away. Anytime COVID comes up, I mean, I've had people accuse me personally that it's because, you know, I'm an infectious disease physician. It's not as if I got involved because of COVID. But people accused me and said, oh, you know, you people that are doing COVID, you don't want COVID to go away. As if, you know, so there's that attitude from everybody that this COVID thing, let me go on a break, Dr. Akasi. COVID don't go away by getting tired.
Let me go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation with you. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day, all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy Eastflash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app.
We're still discussing COVID-19 and we still have Dr. Akase here with us. Mikey, you had a question before the break.
Yes, Nigerians, we have this belief that the coronavirus is not that bad here. And if we just treat malaria, we're fine. A lot of people don't believe in taking the vaccine. And we just some people feel that it's the sun. Some people feel that it's the malaria that is in our blood. Other people feel it's the pepper that we eat. Please, can you dispel or confirm
Let me,
these thoughts.
Dr. Akasi, I would like to add to that, because that was going to be part of my question. Dr. Akasi, I'd like to ask you also that the truth is, we all go to parties in this country. We enter with face mask. As we enter like this, we put the face mask, we put it down. We have the party, and we go home, and we're all right. All of us, we go to big parties, small parties, get-togethers, pool parties, playing, we do everything. And we seem to be living our normal lives. Yes, there's a 0.000% that might catch COVID, but because the majority of us don't catch COVID, we always feel, just like Becky said, that maybe it's our son, maybe it is something. So in the last 1 year that this COVID has been with us, what research have you done as Nigeria? Africa done to confirm or to refute the claim that it is not really prevalent in Africa like it is in other parts of the world?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. I mean, this is a question that has been asked repeatedly, and it's subject of many researches. And unfortunately, up till now, nobody has come with consensus despite that. However, some of the contributing factors she's mentioned, they has to do with, one, we have a young population of people who, not that we're not getting infected, but people are getting infected, having symptomatic infections and recovering because we're primarily a young, population group. Secondly, again, the weather contributes. We all know that COVID, viral infections generally prefer cold weathers that have low humidity. In our tropical, environment with high humidity, it's not too conducive for viral infections. So the truth is, definitely Africa has not borne the brunt of this infection as as expected. But there are two major downsides to that. The first one is the fact that because of that perception, especially among the younger population, because they're the ones that are up and about. If you look at the absolute numbers, it's not that much. But if you look at those that eventually succumb to this infection, because because their general attitude has been, oh, it's nothing. But somehow out of 1,000, you get 10, 20. Those 10, 20 to those families is real and it's significant. They lose people and they know what they go through in terms of, some people have financially been wrecked by COVID. If you look at those that require ICU care, the medications, it's been wrecking economically. So this is one downside to those families that have lost people. To them, it's real. They don't know whether they're Africa or not Africa. Right. They lost someone, they've gone through a traumatic experience. Secondly, the risk of mutations. Mutations happen in people who have infections and transfer it to others, whether they're symptomatic or not. So the major drivers, and this is where sort of there's some, I won't justify the decision by some of the West to just blanket, ban people. But we all know that the cooking pot of mutations are those people who are not having symptoms, getting infections, just the virus just having a free day, getting mutations and churning out mutations in the group. So there's an argument that, and this is just an argument, that Africa, even though we have not had symptomatic infections, but a lot of mutations have come out from Africa in terms of, we being fit and able to allow the virus to do all the experiments, more or less, that they want in the human body to bring. And you all know that mutations simply come up when viruses just want to find a way of surviving, and they, somehow that's that.
No, okay, let me take this call. Let me take this call. Let me take this call, then I'll come to you. Kayode, are you there? Hello, Kayode.
Good morning.
Good morning, you're live.
Ladies.
Good morning.
Yes, thank you for that question you've just asked the on the Zoom. Yes, you just asked the doctor. Now, before that, I just wanted to encourage Software and Marian to applaud the government on the reaction reciprocity policy concerning UK, because it's in development, as you read out in the newspaper, that UK government have been the development that they're going to strike it. And I think it was as a result of our reciprocity movement by the government. Now to the doctor, Morayo. Ladies, please, Nigeria is a COVID-free state. There is so much going on that they didn't want that Nigeria is a target. And it's because Nigeria was just blessed. There's so much reason that Nigeria is a target. Yes, Miriam, yes, you can laugh, But I'm telling you, every of these things was imported into Nigeria. Ebola was imported into Nigeria.
I agree.
Okay, malaria was imported into Nigeria.
I agree.
And then so many other diseases as well. And God has revealed the way Ebola came in and this COVID came into Nigeria. Just like that doctor said, there is no consensus. It's not that, it means that there is one of the doctors disagree that Africa has disappointed the world. And Nigeria has defeated all predictions. Let me tell you something. If malaria is in Nigeria and malaria is not in London, and Russia cannot have malaria, and malaria is the star agent, malaria is the star agent. How come they don't have malaria in UK and they don't have it in Canada and they don't have it in Russia? So it means there's a factor. It means this COVID itself has its own special character. So whether they like it or not, it's not an African thing. They are making a lot of effort to stigmatize Africa. And in Africa, we always say Nigeria is the mother of Africa. We are a target. We are the elephant in the room.
Thank you very much, Kayode. I like our doctor to respond to that, because Kayode's views be saying that this is obviously some kind of a conspiracy theory against Africa. And what are your thoughts on this? What do you think? What do you make of what he just said? What Kayode just said?
Okay, well, I mean, I really appreciate his candor and I don't understand with him that really some of the attitudes that some of our international bodies have gone on about, the way they have exhibited, have fueled some of these conspiracy theories. Unfortunately, when you have a pandemic, pandemics are a very good breeding ground for conspiracies, especially when there's so much uncertainty around this, and around that. So I'm a scientist, I'm a clinician, so I tend to make judgment based on what I see. Of course, he made something around malaria, why malaria is in Africa, not elsewhere, and again, which there are clear scientific theories to explain why that is so. Temperate malaria parasites cannot, survive well outside a particular temperature. So they survive well in mosquitoes here in the country, elsewhere they don't. So these are all things. But his sentiment clearly shows us how much work we need to do in terms of both getting everyone on board, because everybody does have a role to play. And if you have a section of our society that feels disenfranchised or has issues around the approach or some of the things, then we do know we have a big problem on our hands. And I think as a country, in terms of putting in structures in place to protect our people,
right?
It's always good for us to get scientific basis around what we need to do. Okay. Around that. So I understand with him, but I may not agree with him.
Let me get the final question in for you. Go ahead, Waike.
A lot of us Nigerians are anti-vaxxers. What would you say to convince us to become vaccine conscious or to take the vaccine? Or do you think we need the vaccine?
It takes a minute.
That's a big question. I mean, I have colleagues. Well, I mean, that's a big question. I have colleagues, doctors and nurses, who are vaccine, hesitant, or who are vaccine, pessimist. From all the evidence shows us. And now, I'm not here to talk about the origins or who brought what and all of that. At the moment where we are right now, we've seen how, COVID, this particular variant, is able to spread through a population so easily. We've seen how the masking and hand hygiene and all of that is not proven to be so effective against this. For now, it is saying that our easiest and most effective way out of ending this repeated. I mean, we all have seen how much disruption COVID brings, and I've seen irritation. Unfortunately, for now, it is saying vaccination seems to be a way out of out of this. For now, that is how it seems. And you all know that COVID came. And with knowledge is on an evolving base. Nobody can claim to know everything about COVID and tell you what's going to happen in the next 1 year or so. So we're dealing with data as it comes out. Now we know that vaccines are just the way to go, to be honest. And whether we like it or not, it makes economic sense. It makes logistic sense. It makes sense in every way possible for everyone to get vaccinated. Because if you don't, we're just going to keep getting these cycles and over and disruptions. Now countries are going to get locked down again, so that's elsewhere, not Nigeria. So really, there's no running away from this.
Thank you very much, Dr. Akase, for joining us this morning to shed more light on this. We'll continue to monitor the COVID cases, especially with this new Omicron variant, and ensure that Nigerians do what it is to keep safe. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on the show, Dr. Akase.
Thank you.
There you have it, COVID. But yeah, we know it's real, you know, but I guess we just need data. We need more data from this end.
How much data do you need?
Not from abroad, though. No, local data.
I know, to stop you from those your party moves.
No, I don't go to parties.
Her parties.
I don't go to parties.
Barayo, please.
Let me tell you, really, I will not stop parties.
Yeah.
That's my own truth.
But you've gotten vaccinated.
That's not the problem.
Yes, we've gotten vaccinated.
I don't believe the vaccine is going to stop me from catching it if I'm going to catch it. I wear my mask and I go and party, man.
Yeah, me too. I've seen those parties and I've seen the mask go from one side to the other.
Let me tell you something. I will die of loneliness if I sit down in my house than if I go and enjoy my life.
But you see, are we all just hypocrites? Because we go to a party and enclosed with air conditioner, with our face mask, thinking that we're all protected. No, we're not. We're all breathing the same air.
I think that we should, whether you believe there's COVID or there's no COVID, just get vaccinated. Just
yeah, so it's only vaccinated. Well, those that are vaccinated, still, some of them are still catching COVID. But the point is that once you enter an enclosed room and the air conditioner is on, we're rotating the same air. So if you have your face mask, put everything, we are all still blowing the same air. So if somebody coughs COVID into the air, we're all breathing it. I think it's the only God that is helping us in this country. I didn't want to say that on this thing, but you know, I don't know, but
let me just
scientifically.
Doctor thinks I'm not. I don't believe. Yes, I've taken the vaccine, but that's because I need to go and see my child. And they won't let me enter if I don't take the vaccine. So I've taken it. It didn't make any difference to my life. I didn't feel any strange. I was not ill. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing to do.
If you go to Lagos markets, if you go to Balogun, if you go to, if you walk around this Lagos, you think, is there COVID in this country?
It's just weird.
I don't understand. So, but anyway, let us, I don't know if we're going to get
I don't think it is fair. See them, they say they abandoned us because of Omicron. It's them that are dying.
We are here.
Omicron, they are foreign in the hospital now.
Yes.
We are still wondering about the place.
Anyways, let's forget it's our Christmas African themed Christmas. Please, let's clap. You know, so we had our set designed to have the African theme, because this year we thought it was important to show each other how we can enjoy Christmas the African way. So we're going to be doing lots of things. I mean, it's not just about giving out gifts. Today we're giving out gifts to two people. One, a cash gift of 50,000 naira, and the other person, please clap. Like it, 50,000 is not small. Please clap.
50K. Like it.
The next gift is from Eleganza. They gave us some nice coolers and buckets and trolleys and different things. So we're going to give two people. So somebody gets the cash and somebody gets the Eleganza gift. So I think I'm going to have our callers. Whoever calls in now before the end of the show, any caller that comes in right now will get that get the Eleganza gift. Please, let's give them a round of applause. If you call in right now, anybody that calls in right now gets the Eleganza gift. But let us pick the next guest for the 50,000 naira.
No, we have to.
Right, one has dropped.
One has dropped. Please put it back and shake.
Put it back. Let's put it back in and shake again. Now, if you recall, this money came from the money that our fans contributed. We had about 880,000 naira in total. So what we did, we decided to give to our fans, give back the money, 50,000 naira each. So, YK, who's the next person getting the gift today?
I am Oge. Geey. I am
Oge.
One word.
And what did she say?
She says, I'll use 10,000 naira to register for a course I've been wanting to do on UDMY. I'll use 10,000 naira to buy something nice for my mom. She deserves the world. Use 20K to buy foodstuff and some provision for the house, and use the remaining 10K to also assist those that don't have anything for Christmas. For it is in giving that we receive. I'll be grateful if I am chosen. God bless you and finish your praise.
So, okay, we're going to call up Oge. So what we did was that we shortlisted quite a number of people, and we called all of them to get their phone numbers. So we'll be calling Oge to let her know she's one of the winners, and we'll get her account number and we'll forward 50,000 naira to her. And I'm hoping that somebody can call in now to get the Eleganza gifts before the close of the show. But anyways,
nobody calls it, we can pick another person.
To the gifts. Nah, this for 50K. This for the 50K.
Yay.
So, anyways, any other message on YouTube, Facebook?
Oh yeah, we do have lots and lots of messages on YouTube.
Any scientific messages?
No, lots of sentimental messages. The vaccine reduced the devastation effect of COVID, and it's the main point. It doesn't stop you from catching it, but reduces the effect significantly.
Thank you very much.
Somebody said, laugh out loud, Naija no send for a code Dumota still full. Then
September projection says we are partying, at YK.
Hey, God.
So I have a caller. We have Remy Eniola from Abuja. Good morning, Remy.
Wow, I said, oh.
All the way from Abuja.
Hello, Remy, are you there?
From London.
Oh, sugar.
Yeah,
okay, but Remy, we'll have to call Remy back, and we're going to send her the gifts in Abuja. It's a cooler. I wish it was here. I'll show you with nice, beautiful Eleganza cooler with some nice other gifts inside it. Thank you so much, Eleganza, for giving us this gift for our viewers, and we'll be happy to share with you. Any other messages? Any interesting messages?
Yes, we have messages. Nigerian scientists need to be given their credit for cures and not be taken away from Nigerian scientists. This is wrong, too. Ebika says, I believe the world needs to come together to fight this virus. I was not happy waking up to find Nigerians are being placed on UK red list. But then, the fact is that people pay to get fake test results.
Mildred Ajegmo says vaccines are not meant to stop you from catching COVID, but to prevent the risk of dying of infection. Yeah. There is a difference.
Okay, so I'm told we have another caller. So what happened was that we didn't get Remy Aniola's contact. So unfortunately, she has to disqualify. But Bumi from Ogba is qualified. Woo! Bumi, are you there? Hello, Bumi. Hello, Bumi, are you there? Okay, but I guess our phone lines are down. Anyways, so these are our gifts this year. I don't know. It's not as a...
No, but we're good.
People are getting gifts and they're showing on Instagram.
Yes. So
I saw a video of that.
So they make videos.
Oh, really?
When they get to make videos, we repost them. Really,
I didn't know that.
So they're really happy.
Oh, I've missed that on Instagram.
Yes.
I
when
didn't
they
see
get
that.
them, they're so happy about it.
I'm so bad with Instagram.
And I'm so glad that.
Fantastic. Now that makes me feel better. Fantastic. Well done. Yes. So we'll reach back to Bumi to give her the gifts from Eleganza, and we'll reach out to Oge to give him or her the 50,000 naira from our gifts. Thank you so much, ladies. It was a great time. I can't wait till Thursday to dress up the African way.
Yeah.
So excited.
Another
exciting time.
All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Stay blessed.